Oh, good morning. Sawadee. Sawadee Tan Chow. Let's see. Alrighty. So today we're going to talk a little bit about food, Thai food, and the difference between way back when and now. All right, we are here. Good. We are here. Everything's working now. Good. Had to make sure. You never know here. Okay. Now I'm dialed in. I think. Got my coffee. Hopefully the sound is good. Picture's good. One more thing here. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever eaten anything in Thailand recently and thought it's good, but it's not great? Not bad, not terrible, but something's missing? Because I will tell you something, I'll be straight with you about it. Thai food today is not the same as 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's just not. And, you know, it used to be, and I've said this many times, it used to be that when you went out to eat Thai food, every time you were guaranteed a fantastic meal. Now I go out and it's kind of 50-50. It really depends on, do you know the place? Is that place really good? What particular dish are you getting? You know, it's just not the same. And I don't mean it in some kind of a nostalgic, romantic way that, oh, the food was so much better back then. That's not what I mean. Something has changed, and I mean the flavor, the ingredients, the way it's cooked, and even definitely how you feel afterwards. You know that feeling if you ever eat at McDonald's, which I don't eat at McDonald's anymore, but if you ever eat at McDonald's and you're like, oh, I want a burger, I really want a burger. Then you eat their like double cheeseburger or whatever it is, Big Mac. And when you're done, you're like, ugh, it's horrible. So if you've only been here on visits or for a few years, you probably don't even realize it. You just think, oh, this is Thai food. But the Thai food here, I mean, honestly, the Thai food is something people don't really talk about it, but like my wife and I have talked about it. And I said, it used to be a guarantee. Any shop house you went to, Thai food was fantastic. And now it's not. It's not what it used to be. Which means, what? It means it includes organ meats. They would preface that it was, I mean, some places are Isan, some are not. There are places all over the place. I'm not talking necessarily about Isan versus Northwestern Thai food, South food, Central food. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the food in general is, I don't know about 10 years ago, because I'll be honest, 10 years ago, I noticed that the food was kind of not what it used to be. 15 years ago, not what it used to be. 20 years, I think 20 to 30 years ago, the change started happening. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm talking about the overall flavor, the quality, how you feel afterwards. Back in the day, you used to eat a Thai meal and you used to go, oh my God, that's so good. And it was clean tasting. It tasted very, very balanced. And now they have a lot more sugar. It's greasier, it's heavier, it's more mass produced. Everybody wants to make money. So they're trying to bang out as much stuff as they can. And this hasn't happened by accident. So tonight we're going to talk about what has changed, why it changed, whether it's still worth eating, which it is, and where you will find food that tastes like old Thailand, because it is still out there. You just gotta know where you're going. Fresh peppercorns are what you won't find outside of Thailand. Well, I don't know about that, because I order from Shopee and I get the fresh peppercorns from outside of Shopee. I buy them and they're imported. Dude, my wife and I have been talking about the exact thing ourselves over the past year. I mean, listen, you go out into the countryside and, you're in some family's home or something. They might be cooking up the real deal and they might not be adding a bunch of shit into the meal. But if you're here in Bangkok or say Chiang Mai or Phuket or Pattaya and you want to eat real Thai food, I mean, I just think about it and they go, do you want it hot? And I go, Pet mak na. Give it to me really spicy. And they give it to me and it's like, I'm like, wait a minute. This is like you put a little bit of sriracha on it or something. It's not even spicy. So, it's not the same. I don't care what anybody says. If you haven't been here 30, 35, 40 years ago, you don't really know what it used to taste like. I mean, listen, I used to get, and I talked about this, I used to get pad Thai, 5 baht, okay? It's right down the street. And there was a couple places. You go there and they got a whole table full, and it was piping hot. They had just finished it. Boom, give me, 4 of them. And it might take you 2 to be full. But they were fantastic. I mean, I used to like to eat Thai food. Now, I don't really eat Thai food because I think a lot of it is very fattening. And I think you can eat better. Anyway, I got a few things to talk about. First of all, I am Scott. I'm an American who's been living in Thailand here almost 32 years now, almost half my life. And usually I cover Thailand, Southeast Asia, other destinations around the world, expat destinations. But if you want more videos and live streams similar to this one, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and remember to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of everything. Also, you can get a consultation, paid consultation, by sending me an email at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. Let me see here. Okay. Currency. Let's talk about the currency. Now, things are better for Americans. 32.29 to the dollar right now. The air quality here is 85, which is moderate, which is, I'll just say, eh. Temperature 84 degrees Fahrenheit, high of 93, low of 79. Feel like temperature 89 in Celsius. That's 29 is the temperature, 34 is the high, 26 is the low, and 32 is the feel like temperature. Humidity is 75% right now. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things, but first of all, I just want to talk about my buddy from the United States. And This is a guy that I went way back with. Long before I came to Thailand. I was living in California. I had moved to California. And I started training in martial arts. And next door to the studio was an arcade. You know, pinball machines, video games, all that kind of stuff. And this guy, his father, owned the arcade. So I got to know him. This is like probably in the 80s something, maybe 87, something like that. And I got to know him, and we became really good friends. And then when I moved to Thailand, I moved to Palm Desert, and I lost touch with him. I don't know how or why, but I did. And there was a time I was working, I was living like paycheck to paycheck. I ran out of money. It just happened that I lost my job, and at that time I didn't have any money. Like my paycheck was gone as soon as I got it. I had nowhere to live because I couldn't afford to pay the rent, and his family said, you can stay here. And so I stayed with them for, I don't remember how long, but a couple of months. He was a great guy, really good guy. And, we went out with women together. He had girls, I had girls. We talked about it. We did all kinds of things together. And he was a plumber. And he used to say, your shit is my bread and butter, which I always thought was funny. And I was a printer. Anyway, a couple years ago, I got in touch with him again, and I started talking to him. So I started calling him, and he had moved to Nevada. So we're talking and talking. Every month or two, I'd give him a call, and we'd talk. And a couple of months ago, this is probably 7 months ago, I call up, no answer. Call up again, no answer. I'm like, what's going on here? I keep calling for like a month. There's no answer. Finally, I call up, and the line had been disconnected. And, he was always tight on money, and he was on disability. His hands were all gnarled up and everything. He had bad arthritis. He was a little bit older than me. And, the phone number was no longer in service. And I kept calling, and I couldn't send him a postcard because postcards are assessed a duty in the United States. And I thought, I want to send it. And they go, no, you can't send the postcard. And I'm like, oh my God. If you want to send it, you can send it. And then I was like, how? And they're like, a DHL. And I'm like, how much is that? It was like 1,500 baht. Well, I'm not sending this postcard to him. I still have the postcard in my desk. So I keep trying to call, and the number's disconnected. Finally, I get through to somebody. And the guy goes, who are you? I go, who am I? I go, I'm Scott. Who are you? I'm calling, And he says, a few people have called for him, but this is no longer his number. And I went, I wonder what's going on, because I got to get him some mail, or I have to somehow try to get a number or whatever. And I'm thinking about it. And finally, my mother tells me, well, look in the obituaries. So I look up his name, and I see a couple names, but I find one in the city where he was living. And it just says he passed away. He was 64 years old. And, this is the phone number and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, no, that can't be him. So last night, I was on Facebook, and, I don't particularly like Facebook, but for something like this, it's very useful. And I look at he had a Facebook, but he never used it. But he had used it like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. So I went on and I found a bunch of people who seemed like they were good friends of his. And unbeknownst to me, I found his sister. And I had this paragraph written out, and I just copied and pasted it and sent it to everybody, saying I was looking for him and I'm worried about him. And so she wrote me back this morning and said that he had passed away. And, you know, he was a really good friend and a really good guy, man. We got into fights with people together. We went out together. We went out with girls together. He had this old beater van, and he used to drive the van around and be all hunched over, and he'd be hauling ass, and that thing would be rattling. And then his sister told me they drove it from Nevada to Kentucky and didn't have enough oil in it, and oh, God. And, you know, we had a couple of mutual friends. And so anyway, I just want to give a shout out to him, my last shout out. And, you know, all I can say is I've lost a couple of other friends. I lost another one about 5 years ago. Then I lost a guy that I grew up with a couple years ago. And, you know, those were hard. But this one is really, really hard for me because he was a good friend. He knows me when I was training in martial arts, and I mean, he used to go and watch me because when I was like, you know, a younger guy, I used to do really well when we were sparring and stuff like that. And he used to come just to watch me. And then the whole place would be watching. And, you know, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, you know, whatever. But to lose him is, he's one of the closest friends that I've had that has passed away. And 64 is just way too young. And, you know, I'm almost 64, and I think about it, and I think, you know, this guy's got to fucking sit right next to me. He's got the whole place. Everybody else has the whole place, and they want to sit next to me. They always do that. I don't know why. He's got to yap away, which he has every right to, I know. But it's just irritating me. Anyway, so that's my friend's story. And it's really hit me pretty hard, and I'm just in shock. Now, I will say this. He died like 6 months ago. And I've been trying to get a hold of him. And I just haven't been able to get a hold of him, haven't been able to contact him. I didn't even think about using Facebook because he's not on Facebook. I mean, he's on Facebook, but he doesn't post anything. He hasn't posted anything in, you know, 10 years. And then when I saw the obituary, I thought, no. And I remembered that I thought his middle name was Albert. And it was an A in the middle. And I went, I hope this isn't him. And I had a bad feeling. And I thought, well, somebody on Facebook is going to get back to me and let me know what's going on. And sure enough, he's got a sister. He had 2 sisters and a brother and his mother and father. And his mother and father passed away. They were older, and, you know, he was kind of broken up about it, but he got over it. And then his sister died, who I remember, and I thought she was really cute when she was young, and, you know, I was younger. Very sweet, and she passed away. And then his brother passed away. It's like his whole family passed away except this one sister. So anyway, you know, I hope he's in a better place, and, you know, I don't know what to say. Anyway, let's get into it. I don't wear a pollution mask. I never wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I have no reason to wear a mask. Yeah, this is a real kick in the nuts. Because, you know, he was my friend going back quite a ways. And, you know, I guess maybe it hits home that, hey, that could be me. I just found out like 3-4 hours ago. And I've been talking to his sister I talked to her for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, I guess they were looking at his phone and they couldn't find his phone, and so they couldn't contact people and let them know. And apparently he got sick. I don't know what happened to him, but he got ill and he just didn't recover. And it's hard to take, man, because I know that's going to be me one day, and it could be today or it could be in 30 years. Who knows, you know. And normally people don't talk like this, you know. I don't think. They don't talk about, you know, well, I could go today or I could go in, 30, 40 years. If I live to be 100, hey, I got, 36 years left. But I don't think that that's going to happen. You never know. I think I'm doing pretty well, but I don't know on my inside, you know. So anyway, let's move on. So let's start with the basics, the food basics. And some people might go, oh, come on, you don't really notice. It's not a big deal. And no, I do notice. I have noticed. A lot of people notice. And the ingredients have changed. The costs have changed. And that's a big motivator. The volume supposedly increases, but I don't know if that's true. But the priorities have definitely shifted with the vendors in Thailand. And even in here, I mean, listen, you go in here, depending on which place you go, will dictate whether your food is fantastic or it's just blah, or it's okay. And I haven't eaten in this food court in probably a year and a half, 2 years. But I used to. I would get khao soi, I would get, some Muslim food, I would get all kinds of things. But what I noticed is the food quality generally wasn't all that great. It was just okay. And this is there are many changes in Thailand, but this is one of them, the food. Now, let's get to something that's rather important when it comes to the food, and that is oil. The oil that they use. And this is a big problem that a lot of them don't really talk about. Many years ago, they used to use more natural fats. They used to use lard. They used to use, all kinds of stuff. But the cooking was faster and it was hotter. And they didn't reuse the oils nearly as much as they do now. Now they do it aggressively. They reuse the oils over and over and over again. And Jono and I think Billy also, we've all gotten sick from eating food where they continually reuse the oil. They use palm oil. And they use it all day long over and over again, and the fryers run nonstop, and you can feel it. You can feel it when you eat it. Now, in my home, we use soy oil sometimes. I never use soy oil, but my wife, sometimes my kids. Now I buy a good olive oil, and I have different olive oils, and it's expensive. You're talking about 500 to 1,500 baht for a 500 liter bottle of olive oil. And when you have a family of 4, you can use that. Now, I did see some ghee up above at the yogurt place. They had ghee. And don't remember ever having ghee. But I thought about trying it. But just kind of like, I mean, if I go to McDonald's, or it used to be, what was the name of that? Texas Chicken, which used to be right close to here before they changed them all. You'd go in there, you'd eat food, and they would be reusing the oil, and it would be like, oh my God. When you're done, you're like, ugh. You feel heavy, you feel sluggish. And, that's not your body. And I mean, like with me, sometimes I go, oh God, man. And it'd be like, I got to hit the toilet, man. And it was because of the oil. That was the problem. That oil was kind of gnarly. I don't know now. I mean, I know there's some people that come to Thailand. There are some people that live in Thailand in the stream. How do you feel now about the street food compared to maybe when you first started coming or many years ago? But, the other thing is that the flavor is shifting. Yeah, butter, I tend not to use butter too much, but I do use it sometimes, but not all that much. Yeah, I just don't like, I mean, listen, at my house, I'm telling you, I put a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and I cook up an omelet or something like that, maybe a half a tablespoon, and I just spread it around in the wok, and it works fine. And, I don't have to use some crappy oil, Well, you bring your own oil if you can. When I went to Culinary, I asked them, do you have any olive oil? And they said, yes. And they showed me the olive oil. And I said, I'm going to come here every day at lunch, and I want you to make me a 5-egg omelet. And I want it 3 egg whites, 2 eggs. And I want the olive oil to be used to cook with. And they did that for me almost every day. I mean, I know a lot of K1 fighters and Muay Thai fighters and boxers. I know a lot because I used to work in the industry and I used to train and fight. That was a long time ago. And most of them are very careful about what they eat. There are some that are not, but I don't think they last very long. So anyway, but the oil is something that you really have to watch out for. And everything now tends to be sweeter. And, it is. That's just the way that it is. And it could be the pad thai is sweeter. The curries are sweeter. The sauces are sweeter. Because they're dumping a bunch of sugar in because they know people like sugar. And look at how Thais are different. It used to be 20% of Thais were overweight and 80% were fairly healthy. Now it's like 80% are overweight and 20% are fairly healthy. And this is a big reason. Listen, if I want, I can eat here. I can eat across the street. There's places right across the street from my house. I don't want the carbs. I don't want the fat. The kind of fat that they have. I don't want the oil. I don't want any of that stuff. So I'm like, I got to go to the grocery and spend more money on my food. And I'll tell you what, we're stocking up on some things again, like we did before the COVID. We're stocking up on, things like mama noodles, pasta, tuna, all that kind of stuff that lasts, beans. And I don't eat that stuff most of the time. Now, tuna, I eat tuna. I don't really eat pasta, maybe once every 3-4 months, if that. But the reason that they use so much sugar is because people like it and because it's easier to sell it. They make money because they sweeten things up and people go, oh, wow, this is so good. And, I guess it's safer. That's why they don't have a lot of spices in it. Listen, my kids can't eat really spicy food. I eat spicy food, and like for the next 2 days, my ass is burning. But I can eat it, and I did the 1 chip challenge. I don't know how many people that are here still remember that. I ate chocolate with, I don't know how many Scovilles it was, but I ate all kinds of spicy stuff just to do it. Now I don't feel the need to do it because, well, I've already done it, and because generally when you use too much spice, it doesn't make the food taste better. I like an accompaniment, Jesus Christ, I can't say it, accompaniment, something like that, accompaniment. I like it to just flavor the food. I don't want it to be so spicy that, that's all I taste is the spice. So they've I don't want to say they've watered it down for foreigners, because there's a lot of Thais who can't eat spicy food. My wife and I had, I forget what those noodles are called. They're like, Korean noodles. They're like the dry noodles, like mama noodles. And they have like the hot one, and then they have the super, super duper hot one. And she and I have eaten both of them. And I'm like, okay, it's a little bit spicy, but that's it. And I'm like, what's the big deal? And then you get people, you see them, they eat it, and they're screaming bloody murder. They're like, oh my God, this is the spiciest thing. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know how to put this other than the way that I'm going to put it. And I don't mean to sound like I'm the toughest guy. But man, this generation is a bunch of puffs, whatever you want to call them. They are not tough. They're entitled, and, a lot of them are entitled. And, they don't know what it's like. I was talking to my mother. I said, remember when I was younger? There were no cell phones. There wasn't even cable TV. It was satellite TV. That's what they first got into. What did we do? My mother was like, I guess we watched TV and we had conversations around the dinner table and, listened to music and went out and played with my friends, did things like that. And now all the kids are sitting there with their face on their phone. I hate it when I walk through the mall and somebody's walking along and they're like this, looking at their phone. Can't stand it, Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Andre. I can't stand it when they do that. It's such a blatant disregard for life outside the little tiny box. And that goes for when you're eating too. When you're at a dinner table or you're at having lunch together, put the phone away. What do you have to sit there looking and staring at your phone? Oh, I'm going to miss this. Oh, so-and-so messaged me. Oh, well, they can wait. They used to wait. They can wait now. I'm not in a big hurry. I'm not in a big hurry about anything. So I don't know what the deal is, but all I know is that the phone is something. I use it for YouTube, and I'll tell you what, I use the Facebook to find my friend, and I was trying to find some information on my grandfather. But other than that, I'm not posting on there anymore. I don't post photos anymore. I mean, I did my photography. I made money. I posted photos. I had a good time. But now I'm like, what do I want to post my whole life? What I'm doing, where I'm going. Everybody knows what I'm doing, where I am, how long I'm there. I don't need people to always know everything, And it's not only that. it's wasting my time sitting there doing that. And forget about Twitter or X. Forget about that. It's good for a you need to know split second information as long as it's a reputable source, which is a big deal now because you never know what's reputable and what's not. All right, so there is something that I want to talk about real quick before I get further into this, and that is, much to my delight, the whole family will be going down to our farm in a couple of weeks. We'll spend around 8 days there. And, I don't know yet. I don't think my wife is quite sure yet. I think the chicken coop is done. We're waiting to put together a chicken farm. Have chickens on the farm. We got a chicken coop. And I kind of want to have a look at it because I want to make sure that snakes can't get into it. And we either have some chickens now, which I'm not sure about. I haven't found out yet. Or we're going to get some, and we're going to get like 100, something like that, 100, 200. We already have fish on the farm. Now, I'm going to recommend they put in some shrimp, too. I don't know how that'll work. And then we have durian, and we have all kinds of vegetables and fruit, pineapple, mango, papaya. So it's a chore to keep up with this farm. And I think we'll be going down there a lot more. And since I'm talking about this with the wife more, I said to her, listen, it's okay. We can make a little house of our own. We have a house there, but, we've always got our brother there or sister there or, somebody's there, the family friend. And I want privacy. She said, oh, well, we'll just make a little bungalow in the back. Okay. So in the back part of the yard, which is, it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get there by, walking, we can build a little house, which is nice. Just put a TV in there. Maybe we have a radio or something we can plug in to listen to a speaker, a bed, and, an air conditioner or a fan or something like that. And that'll be fine. But what I want to do is I want to tell her, hey, we need to go somewhere and start looking for a place where we can go all the time. We go down to the farm. We look at the farm for 2-3 days. Boom, we go somewhere else, like Khao or somewhere like that. And we go look for somewhere near the beach, and I'll stay there for a month. You can work there. You can go back to Bangkok. The kids can go back to Bangkok. Then you come back down. Then we go back together, whatever. But I don't necessarily want to live on the farm full time, even though this brings me to another subject, which is the expenses. Now, in Bangkok, it tends to be more expensive than, say, Suratani out in the jungle or a village or something like that. Chumpon, if it's, say, not Chumpon, but what is it? Chayapum, where Jim is, tends to be cheaper. Now, if I think about it, maybe we would pay, just for food, and we would just pay for food, basically. And we might have to pay a little electric bill. I don't know about water, because we have water right next to our place. We have a huge canal. But the cost there is very low. I saw some video the other day after the last stream from this guy saying, I live off of, it was about $1,000 a month. And I'm like, okay, so what's the big deal? Yeah, well, everybody says you can't do it. No, nobody's saying you can't do it. You need the right circumstances, and you need to be willing to sacrifice in order to be able to do that. Now, if we didn't live here and we just lived in the South, I would say probably because we're a family, it might cost us $50,000 a month. It's just $1,500 or so. That's pretty cheap. Now, if it was just me and that was my place, I mean, maybe it's $1,000. The point is that when you're here, if you're going to eat Thai food all the time, you're going to save money. If you're growing your own food, you're going to save money. I mean, what am I supposed to say? We got chickens. We need a chicken. We just kill the chicken. We got eggs. We don't have to pay for the eggs. Just pay for some feed. You know, want some fish? We got fish. We eat fish. Tomatoes? Oh, we got tomatoes. Cucumber? Oh, we got cucumbers. We got everything we need. So you can keep your expenses down. But if you're a single guy or you're some guy with a girl and you've been with her for 6 months or a year, unless she's just totally a farm girl who doesn't have a lot of ambition, who doesn't really care that, you know, she's living off of $30,000 a month, well, okay, good for you. That's good. I think that's great. I think most people have a hard time to be able to do that. I don't know what you guys think about that. For me, you know, $1,000 is $1,000. It ain't much. I was off of Facebook for 20 years, landed in Thailand, reconnected, but thinking of going silent again. On Guam and Saipan, the monitor lizards would get into the eggs. Well, they do here too, but you can prevent it. You know, there are things that will prevent it. You have a dog, big dog, just as an alarm. There are things you can put down that will keep the snakes away. I don't know about the monitor lizards. I'd have to look at that because we do have water, but we could put the house, we could put the chicken farm opposite of where the water is, so that if they're going to come, they're going to have to cross some land. Oh, if I was living in Bangkok on $1,000 a month, even as a single person, I would be miserable. Because, you know, there's a lot of things you don't think about. Okay, let's say you want to live off of just Thai food. The Thai food is inexpensive. Now, over the course of 30 days, if you're eating 200-300 baht a day, well, it's still between 6,000 and 10,000 baht, right? What about if you need new clothes? What are you doing? Going out and buying a Singha shirt? You're going to go out and buy a 59 baht pair of flip-flops? That's not how I want to live. I've never wanted to live that way. I never have lived that way. I've lived on the cheap, but I just kind of stopped buying. And then when I started having money again, I go out and buy. I mean, this shirt is not expensive. I think this is 790 baht. That's what this shirt cost. No logo on it. I love it. It doesn't matter to me. Now, I would go get a polo shirt, but I don't want the polo logo on it. I just don't want the logo. I don't want people seeing the logo. I don't want it, you know. You know, I've seen some shirts and they don't have logos and they're $12.90, $14.90, and I'll buy them. But you don't have to spend a bundle, but, you know, think about it. You got to have money for shoes. What are you going to do? You're going to walk around flip-flops and you got one other pair of shoes and that's all you got. Okay, if you're young and that's how you want to live for a while, fine. Then you build up, and that's exactly what I did. When I came over here, I had 2 bags and a backpack. And one of the bags was full of VHS tapes and CDs. and stuff like that. Now, like I was saying the other day, we have a whole house full of stuff. It would take like 2 or 3 trucks to move everything. I don't need to be posh. I don't care who thinks I'm posh and who thinks I'm not posh. I don't really care. I don't really care what people think, and that's the bottom line. I think I'm presentable, and that's all that matters. Really, And I probably would not buy DKNY. Period. I would buy Boss or Gucci or, what's the other one? There's a couple others I would buy. I mean, really, I would never buy a fake Rolex. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, let me get back to this here. The flavor shift, yeah, that's a big deal. Things are sweeter now. But the portions, and people say that Thailand is very cheap. Some people say it's not cheap, and I'm one of those people who says it's cheaper, but it's not cheap. Prices have gone up here. If you think it's not as cheap as it used to be, well, maybe you didn't live here before. Some things, like rent, are still cheap. But other things, like food, not so much. Now they're giving smaller portions, less meat, and, they're putting more stuff like rice, noodles, things that kind of fill you up, but they really don't fill you up. And the prices are higher. Here you're going to pay anywhere in this place right here, this little market. And granted, it's in a mall. The cheapest you're going to find is probably 50, 60 baht. And you're going to go up to 150 baht or more. I mean, if you go to Minato, well, that place is expensive. It's all sushi and sashimi and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be, you go there, you might spend 1,000 baht. But all the other places, you're looking at between 50 baht and about 200 baht. And who knows how much they're paying. I don't know. I've never asked them, and I don't really care. But if you go across the street, prices will be lower. I mean, if I want, I can get some pad thai for 50 or 60 baht. I can get a pised, 60 baht. And that generally will fill me up. But it's not going to fill me up that long. It's not like something that's long-lasting. It's not like rolled oats or Greek yogurt or something like that that will really stay with you and hold you over for a bit more. Hey, Bruce. I got some gas to take a trip to Thailand. I forgot. Did you say Bangkok will be dead for the entire? I didn't say it'll be dead. What I said was people will be out and about doing their own thing. The workers at like this coffee shop, at all the vendors, a lot of them will still be working. But if you want to go to certain places, they'll be closed because they're going home. They give their staff time off and all that kind of stuff. And, technically, Songkran is only 3 days. 13, 14, 15. But they tend to close up before and after. Some places close up longer. I mean, Alex has I think he has, let me think here. I don't know, I think he has 8 days off. I think he has 8 days off and he gets an extra 5 days off because it's the weekend and then Songkran. It's affordable if you are comfortable with what you need and are moderately frugal. I mean, I tend to be frugal just because spending on something just for the sake of spending a lot of money is kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Ostentatious. To me, it's not, it's all about value. And Jono put it in a way a long time ago that really stuck with me, and that is the juice is not worth the squeeze. So if you're going to spend 5,000 baht on something, let's say you're going to spend, 50,000 baht on a pair of sunglasses, and you don't really care for the brand, you couldn't care less. Well, then, if you want to get a pair of prescription sunglasses for 15,000 baht, I'd rather get those than spend 50,000 to have some, Gucci pair of sunglasses just because you're like, oh, I want to have Gucci, which you probably lose anyway. So I tend to be frugal as much as possible, and plus you never know what's going to happen. You just never know. What is this? Yeah, it's not what it used to be. Songkran is not what it used to be. I've been in Songkran in Myanmar. I've been in Songkran in Cambodia. I've been in Songkran in Laos. I've been in Songkran in Thailand many times. I've been in the south of Thailand. And I can tell you now, it is nowhere near what it used to be. Now, some places, Pattaya and other places, they're pretty crazy. But they have been trying to stop people from doing things like blowing somebody off their motorcycle because it's just flat out dangerous. I mean, there's no need for that. I don't even buy squirt guns anymore. I don't buy any of that stuff. And to be completely honest, during Songkran, now a couple of years ago, I don't know if it was last year, a couple of years ago, I went out. I went down to, what the hell's the name of the street? I'm trying to think here. I can't remember. I'm thinking Khao Lak. Oh my God, what is the name of it? It's just, Jesus, I can't believe I can't remember it. Khao San Road. Don't know why I couldn't remember that. I've been on Khao San Road, the Khao San area. I've been down by Central World, Central Plaza. There are people on e-bikes, and I've had a couple people pick me up. A couple drivers pick me up on e-bikes, and they're really, really quiet. It's just like the boats. You don't even hear them. They're fantastic. I can catch a boat out back. It will take me to the temple, the 2 stops down. And then from there, I transfer to the electric boat. And, it used to be free. Now they're charging money. I don't know how much it is, 40 or 50 baht, something like that. And it'll take you all the way down to Minburi. It'll take you past, what's the name of that place that I went to the other day? Villa Market. There's a Villa Market at Samarkand, and then there's another one at what is the name of that? Man, my memory is getting bad. El Paseo. And El Paseo is basically nothing. There is really nothing there. And there is a Pacamara between El Paseo and Samarkand, these places. So, I've been all over the place shopping, getting coffee, looking for things, For my drone, I've done things. I've driven, an hour and a half each way just to go for some of these things. Which kind of happens, you have to. The carnage caused by alcohol is ridiculous, particularly for motorbikes. Well, yeah. Alcohol and, stupidity and water, but not so much the water. And alcohol is a big thing, which is why I like to stay off the roads. I had a buddy got an e-bike recently. I had no clue. I thought they all went like 20 days. No. Well, they're very quiet. You just go along, and it's just so quiet while you're moving along. Which is nice. Some banks will change your money. But the best way is just to go to like Super Rich. I mean, you know, I wouldn't do that. I don't use money exchanges. I never use them. And I wanted to say something about, let's see here, about Wise. Apparently, Wise is setting up, I don't know how this works, but they're setting up Thai Wise accounts. Now, I don't know if I don't think it's the Thai account, but Wise in general. If you have a Thai bot account, which I do, you will be able to use the QR code with that, which is fantastic. I wish they would do that with American Express. It doesn't really matter because you use the card, but it doesn't really matter with the Wise either, but, you know, well, you can sometimes. You can sometimes, but it really depends. It depends on the bank. Hey, Andy, how's it going? How you doing? But the street food used to be very, very simple, very, very fresh, and very consistent. And now, some of it is still great, but a lot of it is really rushed. It's heavy on the oil, and it's made to feed a lot of people and not necessarily to be high quality. The procession begins. You know, you can still find good food, good Thai food. But, you know, in the old days, it used to be automatic. It was, if I'm going to whatever vendor it is, whatever place it is, no matter where I was going, the food was fantastic. And now it's just not. You really need to pick and choose where you go. You use Wise, all good. If you have O Visa, I don't know why that is. You mean if you have a bank account here, as you should, if you're living here? You're doing okay. You're in Australia now, or what's the deal? There's all kinds of places that have good street food. You just have to know where to go. I mean, that's pretty much it. If you don't know where to go, then, you know. Now, I have some names of places. I'm going to have to drum them up real quick, but I thought they were on my script here, but they're not. Yeah, it's not automatic anymore. You're going to have to find places that, you know, they consistently make excellent food. And, you know, and really, you don't pay an arm and a leg for it. That's the difference. What do you want to pay an arm and a leg for some Thai food for? If I wanted to do that, I would get it in America. And then it would be the same shit that you're getting here, only worse. And you pay more. I mean, I don't understand it. Now, the one thing that I can say is that not everything is worse. The hygiene is better, the food safety is better. And like I said, there are still some great restaurants, but you've got to really look, and you've got to know where to look. And the places are not just going to walk over to you and hit you over the head. They're not going to fall into your lap. You have a DTV visa? Is that what you're getting? The new Thai Wise is different than an account-based. I had a Thai Wise account. I've had a Thai Wise account up to a couple months ago. Now I have a US account. Now you can still take out money from the ATMs and there is no QR code. In the future, there will be, and this is about 2 or 3 months, there will be a QR code attached and you will not be able to take out cash with your ATM card, which I don't do that anyway. I did it one time out of the whole time I've had Wise, which is, I don't know, 5 years, something like that. Yeah, I mean, Wise works great. And you can use Wise here to pay your bills. I mean, I do it all the time. I do it with many, many things. I pay my internet bill with Wise. I pay Netflix with Wise. I pay Spotify. No, I pay Spotify with a Thai account. I have Schwab also. But you don't have a bank account here. Is that correct? I use Wise and Google Wallet. Yeah, I mean, I know you can do that, and I have it hooked up to Apple, but you know, you can't really use Apple here. If I was going to go back to the States or something, then I could use it there, but oh, I'm beat, man. You know, I woke up to take a leak, and then I checked my messages, checked my Facebook, and I found out about my friend, and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I've been up since about 3 o'clock, 3:30. So what I'd like to know is, what is the best Thai food you've had recently? Put it down in the comments or in the chat or whatever. Let me know what exactly. Do you get a better price on the streaming services if you use a Thai card? Yes. I don't use YouTube Premium. I don't do that. But I do get a better price on Spotify. What chaos? There's not going to be any chaos. You just can't use it as an ATM card. But if I want to use the card to pay for a Thai bill, I can do that. If I want to use the QR code to pay for a bill, I can do it. And if I want, I can keep the money in the US account, which is where the money technically comes from, the US. I don't have to take any money out if I don't want to. And what's going to happen in the future, now Alex just got approved for his Schwab card, the Schwab account. So we have to take a look at that. He and I are going to take a look at that and then set him up. He'll get a Schwab card. And then what's going to happen is, when I get paid in the US, let's say that I want to transfer $500 or $1,000. I say, okay, listen, I'm going to put $500 in your bank account. Give me the cash. He'll give me the cash. I don't have to take anything out through Wise. He puts the $500 in his Schwab account. Now he's got money. And if he ever wants it, he can either fly home, he can take it out from the ATM, he can transfer it, he can do all kinds of things. So there's a lot of options. Masaman curry. Thai currency would be more affordable again, like it was a few years ago. I don't even think about that, buddy. I don't even think about it because I got no control over it. I just keep an eye on it, and that's about all I can do. It was going downwards from yesterday. Yeah, now it went up a little bit. It's 32.30. It was 32.29 about an hour ago. And before that, it was 32.325, and before that, it was, you know. So if it stays above 32, I'm clicking my heels, man. I mean, I'm gonna get an extra for every $1,000. What does that work out to? I'm getting an extra 3,000 baht, right? Is that what it is? Let me think. For every $1,000, if it goes up a point, so instead, no, I'll get 1,000 baht. I can't help you with that one. No worries, no worries. I'm trying to think of it, the best meal that I've had, and I'll tell you what, I ate at Fam Time, which is kind of a chain restaurant with Italian food and steaks and stuff like that, and I had a piece of chicken with some vegetables, like a pumpkin, whatever it's called, and something else, and that was that. But I'm trying to think of the Thai food. Maybe something my wife has made or something like that. I've had that, but I don't really know. It's been a long time since I've had a Thai meal, where I sat there and it was all Thai food, and I ate it, and afterwards I went, oh my God, that was so good. Now, I know there are places that I can do that. Yeah, I like the fact that Schwab, you don't have to pay any money on that. And actually, I'm dumping a bunch of money in there, a bunch more money into Schwab, just so I have money in the Schwab all the time and in the brokerage account. And yeah. Now, let me see something here. Oh, what happened to it? Let me see if I can find a couple of places. Yes. Should be able to find them here. I have a list. I'm just trying to load them up here. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Good deal. Krua Apsorn. This is a very famous restaurant. Old school government family recipes. Not fancy, not trendy. Known for crab omelet, yellow curry. Krua Apsorn. Hang on a second. Because yeah. Auntie Dang. Kun Chantavi Sakun Kon. Another place. Supanika Eating Room. Focus on Eastern Thai family recipes. Strong balanced flavors, not overly sweet, more refined, but still legit. One of the few places pushing real flavor balance instead of sugar bombs. Now I remember. Probably the best place that I've been that I can remember just off the top of my head. It was in Chiang Mai. My wife took me to this very famous Isan restaurant, and we had to stand in line to be able to get in. But once we got in, oh my God. I mean, we had like 6 courses, you know, we shared them, and they were fantastic. It was a really, really good meal. I like Toasties at 7-Eleven. No, that's not a Thai food. Did you ever get a new MacBook? I'm using the same one, and that's fine with me. I'm going to use it until it breaks down. And then I'll get a new one. And then I'll get a new phone. But that's probably 100,000 baht right there at least. So I don't want to spend it unless I have to. Okay, the next one is Khao Geng Jack Pui. Now it says it's closed. I don't know, is this place they close it forever? Let me see something here. Let's see. No, I think they're open, but just they're not open right this minute. What else? Watana Panik. The famous perpetual stew pot, decades old, deep, heavy flavor. You don't get any more. Chinese Thai style, very traditional. This is what happens when nobody cuts corners. And then there is the local. Uses old family recipes from all regions, focuses on traditional preparation and ingredients, slightly upscales but not fake. They're trying to preserve older flavors, not reinvent them. You go very local like Jack Pui, or very intentional restaurants like the local Supaniga. Anywhere in between those is where the sugar lives. Sugar, cheap oil, and the shortcuts, that's where they live. Let me see something here. Don't forget about the super chats. What's the other thing I was going to say? The whys. What else is there? I can't even remember nowadays. I don't even push this stuff anymore. Patreon. Oh, you can do the membership. There's all kinds of things. I wanted to give a shout out to, what is his name? I don't remember the name of the channel. I remember him because I know him. It's Jizz Whistle by Brain Dagger Films. Welcome and thank you very much. Krua OV, that is Royal Thai style. Man Muang, Northern Thai, very legit. Samtam Sida, Isan, no nonsense in the Wanglang area. Sanet Jan, refined but legit. Nungroy Mahaset, uses everything. Organs, lesser cuts, very Thai mindset, nothing wasted. Strong Isan influence, bold flavors. Ow. Let's see here. You know, I don't mind going out with the wife every once in a great while if she knows a good place to go, but like to come eat here in the mall, there are certain places that I'm like, oh, that's really good. Like the Pham Time place. There used to be a Vietnamese restaurant in the exact same place. But the Pham Time is very good. And you get an assortment of things, but it's not great. But they don't have all that much Thai food. Okay, at Krua OV, order the fried fish with curry paste, platod prick gang, gang run juan. That is the pork herbal soup. Don't get anything modernized or toned down for foreigners. Man Muang, get the cow soy. Chicken or beef, it should be rich, not sweet, slightly oily. Nam prik ong, which that comes with vegetables. Get that. And of course, sai ua. What is the name? I gotta find out the name of that. Oh yeah. Okay, it's called Samtam De. That's the place. Samtam De. Okay, so Samtam Sida, you get Samtam there. You get Lap Mu, Lap Pit, so you get pork or duck. Ko Mu Yang, grilled pork neck. That's always very good. The Sinat Jan, you get the crab yellow curry, lotus stem curry, Nam Prik, the set, with chili paste and vegetables. There used to be a place on Soy 14, Sukhumvit Soy 14. If you just take a left on Soy 14 and a quick right, there used to be a restaurant there that used to sell the best crab curry. It was fantastic. You get a mound of crab curry, and it was like 100 baht. I mean, this is 30 years ago. And it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What is this? Oh, God. You're talking about food courts, man. Those are not in the same ballpark, I hate to tell you. Let me see here. One of my favorite restaurants for food to go to is Ban Puang Chom. Still using a MacBook, a Mac Air 2013. Works great. Had a new drive-in battery installed here in Thailand. Yeah, that's kind of like me. Got here a month ago and haven't yet had Pad See Ew yet. Not sure what I'm thinking. Well, I do like Pad See Ew. Really like it a lot. I was using a 2009 until a few years ago. New silicon chip Macs will blow your mind. Videos that took my old Macs 20 minutes to render. Take my Mac silicone under 1 minute. Top floor food court in Terminal 21 at Asok is amazing. I think the food court is called Pier 21. Listen, buddy, if you think that's amazing, you haven't had really good Thai food. Honestly. I've eaten in that food court many times. It's decent, but it ain't great. I can tell you that right now. It's nothing over the top. It's not like, oh my God, it's so fantastic. Maybe because you go there and you haven't had, you haven't really experienced a lot of Thai food. You don't know, but listen, the food courts, once in a while you'll get a fantastic place. There's a place right over here. It's a Chinese soup place. And the soups are like 700 baht. And I asked my wife, I go, why are they so much? She goes, they put all kinds of seafood in it. It's fantastic. It tastes fantastic. And she got it to go to bring it home. It was 700 baht for that bowl of soup. Fidelity is good as a tourist, but they're prone to lock, freeze your account to determine you live overseas. It's related to KYC. Now, I don't have any problems with that locking my account anymore. None. Schwab was doing that to expats in the Philippines recently, too. A lot of guys there complaining about, they don't do it to me. Knock on wood. That food court has A&W root beer restaurant. Well, that's nice. But, I mean, if you want really dignified, fantastic Thai food, I would say stay away from food courts. Maybe in some of the markets, like Ortokor Market used to have some great Thai food. Very, very clean market. You know, it's pretty close to Chatuchak, and it was very nice. So, you know, the reality is that Thailand has changed and the food has changed. There's a lot of changes, and, you know, it's not going to go back to how it used to be. Sometimes if you want great Thai food, you got to make it yourself. You got to find better places. You got to eat smarter. Or you accept a lower quality, and those are basically your options. Now, what I will say is I ordered, it was about a half a kilo of ground lamb and had it in the freezer. You know, took it out, and then the next day it was unfrozen, and I grilled it up. I put some garlic and onion, and I don't remember if there was anything else in there, but I put a bunch of stuff in there. And what I did was I got cucumbers, I got tomatoes, I got feta cheese, I got pita bread, what else? Oh, hummus. And you put the meat in the center, and then you put everything else around, and I made a lamb bowl. And Alex had one, I had one, and then there was leftover. I had that the next day. And man, it took me, I had to chop everything up. I had to prepare everything. And that took me, maybe a half an hour. And then I had to cook everything. And, the hummus, I didn't make the hummus. I just bought the hummus, which I don't know if they have it in this market, but I actually had it delivered to my house because I couldn't find it here online. And I had it delivered to me. It was 180 baht, and it was fantastic. I really liked it. Oh, I made a sauce, like a dill sauce with Greek yogurt that you could dip everything in. Oh, it was so good. Now, that's not Thai food. But, I've made gai pat pit ma muang, which is chicken with cashews. And you can throw some papaya in there. You can throw all kinds of stuff in there. But I used to make that. I used to make, what's the one that everybody eats? Pat kapow. And I don't really like it. I make fried rice, all that kind of stuff. So that's your option, really. You either go to a good restaurant, find a good restaurant, stick with it, hunt down the good restaurants, or you make your own. You learn how to make it. And I'll tell you, the one thing is that I have a convection stove. I have an oven, and I'd say most of the time I use the air fryer or I use the wok. If I'm cooking eggs, I use the wok. I cook omelets, fried eggs, whatever it is. But Thai food is still good today, but it's much less consistent than it used to be. And oil and sugar are the biggest, really hidden problems. And, of course, MSG. And to find a really good restaurant now just takes a little bit of effort and not really. You can't just, go into a place and expect it to be fantastic. That's not how it is anymore. It's just not like that anymore. I don't know why, but. What do you think of the Thai Royal Project Market or Tour? Man, you can get fresh vegetables anywhere. I can get fresh vegetables right down the street. I want a bag of cucumbers, it's 10 baht. I want tomatoes, it's 10 baht, 20 baht. It's cheap. It is cheap. My wife bought 2 kilos of shrimp the other day, and it was 400 baht. And she sat there and pulled the tail off, pulled the head off. They were huge, though. And, we've been eating shrimp for the last couple of days. There's still a little bit left. And, we'll use it, probably throw it in an omelet or something. I hope they still have that paella guy has moved, and the last I heard he moved back, but it wasn't the same as it used to be. It was not as good, and his shtick wasn't, he didn't have the same shtick, it wasn't the same. Pad kapow is a major lump staple for me. Ugh, I hate pad kapow. I don't like the basil. I just don't like it. I'll eat it, but I don't because of the egg mainly. But I won't like cook. Oh, I feel like eating some pad kapow. Ugh, no. It's not going to happen. Depends on what you're cooking, Bruce. Really. Listen. What I had the other day was the lamb, and that probably cost me about what? $340 or something like that. And then the hummus, $520. And then everything else, Jesus Christ, is probably 600. Plus I had the feta, which say half a jar of that, which is 120 baht. It's 1,000 baht. For those rice, and rice also. I had rice, which is not much. 1,000 baht for 3 meals, so that's 330 baht. Now, in a place where they're selling that, it might be a little less or it might be a little more. It just depends. But I thought I spent quite a bit on it, but I was like bound and determined. I have allspice now. I have all kinds of spices, man. I have allspice. I have cumin. I have plenty of garlic and red pepper and black pepper and salt and this and that. I mean, I got a whole row full of spices. So I didn't have any allspice, and I didn't have a few other things. Pad Krapao is the national dish. No, Pad Thai is the national dish of Thailand, not Pad Krapao. Pad Krapao is not nearly as known as Pad Thai. Hate to tell you that. I hate Pad Krapao with a passion. And if you remember, I went walking once and I bumped into a restaurant that is by the bus station. I'm not even going to name the name of it. And I had some Pad Krapao, and it was like 150 baht, and I'm like, why did I get this? I could make it for like 20 baht. And, you know, I did make it for my kids and you know, but, and, you know, of course I ate it just because there was some there, but I wasn't really into it. And now I never will buy it. I will not buy that. And Pad Thai honestly has a lot of carbs in it, among other things. And so, you know, what's the point? I don't think so. It could be, but, you know, I don't. Oh, it says Pad Krapao wins by a mile now. But among foreigners, Pad Thai dominates. Among Thai people, Pad Krapao. I love it because I make my own for 20 baht Pad Krapao. I don't care about that. I don't care about it costs 20 baht. I can tell you when I'm making something, I don't go, well, how much is this going to cost? Unless I'm making something for like 20 people, which that almost never happens. If I make it for my family, maybe I'll figure it out and I'll go, oh, that was like, you know, 90 baht a person or something like that. But I don't really think about it. That's not true, Robert. You just don't put the peanuts in. Jesus Christ. I'll agree with that, Paul. But like I said, with Thais, Pad Krapao is the winner. But with foreigners, so maybe it is the national dish, Bruce. I don't know. I mean, I never think of it as that. It's Samtam, Tom Yum Kung, and Pad Thai in my book. But then, you know, I've been here for a long time, and when I was over here in the beginning, man, nobody ate that. People ate Kapad Gai Kai Dao, you know. They're eating that kind of stuff. They're just eating, you know, chicken fried rice with an egg over it. Anyway, it is interesting to see what people like. And, you know, one other thing that I wanted to talk about before I leave. Now, I've, it doesn't, I never think about the cost like that. Now, if I'm going to have something like crab meat, something really expensive, or scallops or something like that, then I think about the cost. But for something like a Thai dish, I never think about the cost. I don't think about that. Because, you know, if I got the stuff, I got it. And if I don't, I don't. Today I'm going to go to the grocery and I'm going to spend probably 5,000 baht. No, it's not that I'm a big baller. It's that when it comes to that kind of thing, I don't nickel and dime. I don't worry about 20 baht. You know, it's like, think about it this way. If you go out and the driver goes, okay, I'll turn my meter on, it's probably going to cost you around 80 baht. And you go, okay. And then if you go out and the guy goes, oh, I'm going to turn my meter on, it's going to probably cost you 100 baht. Are you going to worry about the 20 baht, or are you just going to go, okay, he's going to turn the meter on, so I'm not going to worry about what, if it's an extra 20 baht, it's an extra 20 baht as long as he gets me to point B, from point A to point B. You know, if I'm such a baller, why do I take the motorbike from the mall when I have a few groceries and I paid 25 baht instead of paying 60 baht in a taxi? Because I don't feel like paying that. I like eating street food when vendors have little plastic chairs to sit on. I can never name any dishes, but I find them tasty. Why can't Thai restaurants in the West offer those? You got me. Because of food sanitation and those kind of things. You know, you can't get away with some of the things you get away with here when it comes to food. I don't have it. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can tell you. Oh, I was going to tell you. You know, I told people, you guys, people watching, a while back, that I've been searching for my grandfather, his crash site. My grandfather, he's dead now. He died quite some time ago, but he was in World War II, and he, oh God, listen, go to Mark Weir's. It doesn't have anything to do with Mark Weir. I mean, like, he's not there sitting there welcoming people in. And I ate at that restaurant, and quite frankly, it's overpriced. I'm not slamming him. I'm just saying it is overpriced. You want to pay 150 baht or 120 baht for a pad krapao, well, go to that restaurant. You could pay 50 baht for a dish. Oh, God. You like the grab because you like the wind in your hair. Okay, I guess, if you say so. Thai restaurants around here charge 15, 20. I know that. I know. And they don't taste as good, quite honestly. Anyway, my grandfather. I've been researching for like a year now. My grandfather was in a plane, C-46A, in World War II. He left Chabua, India, and he was going to Kunming, China. And what happened was they got the wrong bearings. And so they were off course to trying to find their way, and they ended up running out of fuel, which is quite common back then. You know, they're in the Himalayas, and things are rough. The weather was always really bad, and so they had to crash their plane. The plane didn't blow up, but the plane did go down on the side of a mountain. He went down. And what happened was when he was jumping out, he got slammed up against the plane. He got injured. He went down. They were all, like, I guess, in trees. They finally got down. One of them got captured by the Japanese. Another one broke his ankle. The pilot, I have an interview, it's on YouTube, where he talks about my grandfather, the crew, and all this other stuff. And I'm still weeding through it to try to find any little morsel of information that I can latch onto. But, I mean, this is 1944, February 1944, February 16th, February 17th. And so anyway, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I could go there and maybe I can find it. Maybe I could do this. Now, I've narrowed it down. It was like a 50-mile radius, then it's like a 35-mile radius. Now it's down to about 15 to 25-mile radius. And the problem is, it is in an area that is just absolutely, it's like the impenetrable forest. There's no roads. It's all jungle. You need to go through there with machetes and cut your way through. So you need a porter to bring all the food. You need a guide to make sure that, you know, you're going in the proper direction. You need proper gear because there's gnarly snakes and tigers and leopards and elephant there. There's just a lot of things, mosquitoes. There's all kinds of things out there. And I was going to go. I was like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll get the money up somehow and I'll go. Now I'm starting to think, I don't think I'm going to be able to go because it's really, but what I'd like to do, I'm waiting for two different reports. And when they get to me, hopefully they'll pinpoint where the plane went, where the plane is. Is the plane still there? Can I get there? And then I'll figure it out from there. So it's like a puzzle. Most Thai restaurants in the West are actually funded and run by the Thai government, called on a culinary, especially with the U.S. I don't know if most are funded. I'd say some of them are. Crashed in Burma yeah, it was Burma at the time. Yes, they crashed. I think they were somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 feet when they got out, but they were at, I think, 8,000 or 9,000 feet, and then they started running out of fuel, and then they were like, we got to get out. And they got out, and the interview is online. I don't know if I can find it real quick and just post a link here, but I'm pretty sure I can. Here it is. All right. Let's see. This is it. Copy link. Let me put it in here. And let me see. Yeah. That should be it right there. It's an hour-long interview. And this is about 15 years ago, before this guy died. It was like a year or two before he died. He's dead now, or I would contact him. Now, I think he has a twin brother, but I think his twin brother is dead too. He's the pilot of the plane. He's the guy who helped my grandfather. He and my grandfather made it together with the help of Kachin villagers and made it back to where they needed to go. And it took them like 3 weeks to get back to what is now Putao, but then it was called Fort Hertz. So, yeah, it took them about 3 weeks. And what they did was they went from village to village to village to village. And the Kachin would help them. But one of the guys wandered off, and they were telling him, don't wander off, don't do this. They were behind Japanese enemy lines. And so he wandered off, and he got captured. He stumbled onto like 4 Japanese, and the Japanese were like, oh. I guess they were really surprised to see him. And he was like, oh. He was surprised to see them. But they took him in, and he was a POW for a year. So very interesting. And, you know, there are some parts of the interview that are, you know, he's just talking about himself or whatever. But it was really, it's very interesting. And to me, it's interesting, not only because he's my grandfather, but just because you think, I mean, like, first of all, my grandfather came from, I think it was Illinois. And then he had never been out of anywhere. He was 19 years old, never been anywhere. And if you hear this guy, he talks about him 4 or 5 times. He says, oh, Hammond was a tall drink of water, a very strong, strapping guy. He'd never been anywhere. And then here he is in India and China and in Burma, and he's like, wow. You know, what an eye-opener. It's not very safe. If I was to go to Putao, I would never find the plane there. It's not in the city or anywhere on the outskirts of the city. You cannot go out of Putao unless you have permits. You need a permit from the government to leave Putao, which is probably $500. Then you need another permit from the Kachin, and you've got to use one of their guides. And then I'm thinking you probably need a porter. And unless you really can pinpoint where the plane is, where it went down, the chance of finding it is almost zilch. I mean, it's like maybe, if I was lucky, 20%, I might be able to find it. If you have the pinpoint, well, then obviously, you can do it, but now you have to be able to get there, and you're not going to be able to like just walk right through and go, okay, let me just walk down the street here and get there. Apparently there was a bridge, and I think it's the Lido Bridge, and it went over a river, and I'm not sure what the name of that river. To find all this stuff out, and it takes time. Well, it's coffee. Anyway, so that's the way it was. Maybe that'll be my new sign-off phrase. Well, Bruce, I mean, come on. It was overgrown and brushed then. I mean, now it's probably, if there's a plane there, that plane is probably long gone. So the chance of finding pieces of the plane is relatively slim. Hey. Wait a minute, they never gave me my water. What happened? Let me see my... Yeah, they never gave me my... 1 second. คุณครับ ไม่ค่อยให้น้ำเปล่า ไม่ได้ให้ ผมจ่ายเงินน้ำเปล่า ไม่เป็นไร ผมกำลังจะกินน้ำแล้วก็ผมน้ำอยู่ไหน All right. Shit. Joe Ford. Shit. There you go. 500 pesos. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Right at the buzzer, pretty much. I paid for the water. Today's 2 for 1, which is pretty smart on my part, because you come here, I get a dirty coffee and I get an espresso or a cappuccino or something. I've already had an espresso at home. I drink too much coffee, man. I got to stop. But anyway, give Joe a thumbs up. Choke D. I'm going to click on there. Give him a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Long time no see. But, I paid for this, and it's 125 baht for the coffee. Now, today, I get 2 coffees. But this is 25 baht. And I didn't get it. And I'm like, where's my water? Then I'm like, oh, they didn't give me my water. Sometimes I go in the back. They got another place there. You get an espresso for 50 baht. You get a cappuccino for 65 baht. Here it's 110 baht. Anyway. So, enough about the food. Good morning, good morning. Everything's up with the hood. Everything's good in the hood. Foreigner with a baby. Oh. Interesting. Well, there were technical difficulties. Technical difficulties, and after a while, it just becomes such a pain in the neck. I would have had to start something new, and I don't need to do that. Quite frankly, why would I do that? Yeah. Anyway. I don't know. Right now I'm streaming because it's giving me a little more to do while I'm not traveling. I'll probably stream once when I'm in the South. And, twice a week is like almost a little too much. Once a week, But, the problem is that I've seen, and just to be honest about this, a channel gets a little momentum. And if you're not streaming, if people are used to having you stream all the time, and then you just completely stop, well, then you lose some momentum. And then if you're posting videos, and you're posting them, say, every day, and then you just you go to one a week, you lose your momentum. And I did lose some momentum by not streaming. And so I'm like, What is a place in Thailand that you have never been to yet, wouldn't mind going to? Does such a place exist or not? Well, I'm sure there's places that I haven't been. There are some islands I haven't been to. I want to go down to, what is it, down by, is it Satun? Down that way. I want to go down there. I want to try to stay on the west coast of Thailand because the water on the east coast is not very clear. It's not that great. From what I know. I've been all along the East Coast. I've been to Chumpon. I've been to, Hue Hin. I've been to Prachuap. I've been to Phetchabun. You name it. I've been Nakhon Si Thammarat, Surat. I've been just about everywhere. All the way down to the deep south. On the West Coast, I've been to a lot of places, but I'd say a little bit less. And, I've been to Phuket many, many times. I don't really want to go to Phuket. I'm not thrilled with Phuket. I like Krabi. That was great, but that's a little different. I don't really want to go there. I liked Khao Lak. Khao Lak was great. There's a couple places, I'm not mentioning them right now because I don't want anybody else going there. There's a couple of places that I haven't been that I want to go to, and one place in particular is supposed to be very quiet, and that's kind of where I want to go. So I'm going to see about getting over there. I don't know about this trip, but maybe, we're not leaving until next month. The month after that, I may go to this place that I'm talking about and at least look for a cheap hotel or like a condo or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So I'll be going somewhere. I don't know. That's the thing. After 2 months of sitting around, I went to Koh Lipe. Oh God, I've been to Koh Samet, a freaking 20 times. Honestly, I've been to Koh Samet 20 times. That place is a tourist trap, man. It's a tourist trap. Oh yeah, my weight is down. I'm in pretty good shape. Now I have a little bit of a six-pack. Hopefully I'll lose some more. I want to get down in weight, up in muscle. But yeah, I've been to Costa Med so many times. I mean, I went with my wife. Me and my wife went like 3 times. She's like, "You want to go back there?" And I go, "No, I've been with you and I've been by myself. I don't need to go there." No, sometimes unfortunately, when I went to Calipe, I did a couple things in advance. And one of them was I was going to go to Koh. And then they said, "Oh, we're very sorry, but we're now nobody can go to Koh because it's out of season." And I was like, "Oh." So then they had to give me a refund and all that stuff. But I went to a couple other places, and one of them that was Calipe. And I really liked that. And I liked where I was. I liked everything about it. It was great. But something was, I mean, it's a tourist area, and there weren't many tourists there because it was slow. It was a slow season. But still, I was like, it's nice, but it ain't great. I want great. I want to where I go, "Oh my God, this place is awesome." And I haven't had that feeling in a long time. And maybe it's me, maybe it is me. And then I did the Umpang trip, which was great. That was fantastic, but that's in the woods. It's on the river, and that's not where I'm looking to live. And so I was going to take do another trekking adventure, and then that's when I got sick, and it just threw me off, and now it's a little too late to go there because it's too hot, and so I want to do something with the wife and kids, and then we'll figure it out from there, and then I'll do something else, Yeah, finally. I hope I get to it. I just broke, what is it? 19,600. So hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I think I'm at 601 now. Koh. No, it wasn't Koh. What was it that I was going to go to? I didn't want to go to that island because I don't feel like getting any shit with anybody. And I know that, the chance of that happening it's not great. I mean, it's not great. "Oh, I'm going to go there and I'm going to get killed there." It probably isn't going to happen. But I didn't really want to go there. But what is the name of that place? Toratau. That's the name of it. I was going to go there, and they said, "No, it's out of season," so I couldn't go. So I didn't go, and now I got to find somewhere else to go. No, definitely not. You forget Vietnamese, which is very close. You forget Italian. You forget Mexican. There's a lot of different foods that are. I mean, really, I'm going to do a video ranking the foods. But Thai food is in my top 5, maybe in my top 3, but it's not number 1. Especially not now. And what we're talking about is Thai food and how it's suffered over the years because of the sugar and the oil and the produce and the things that they're using and the meat. They're not as high quality as they used to be. So, anyway, well, I gave you guys a few places to go. Hopefully you wrote them down. You can always go back and, figure that out. All you got to do is look it up under the, yeah, I like that. I mean, listen, I eat a lot of Greek yogurt. In fact, today I'm going to buy like 5 tubs of yogurt. Which, I use Greek yogurt. I use it on, if I'm going to have a potato, which is very rare, I'll put, I don't know. I don't care about that. I don't look for it. I don't know. I've seen them in the past. I haven't seen them in a long time. And quite frankly, I don't care. As long as people leave me alone, I don't care what they're doing. I don't like any flavor in my Greek yogurt. I don't want flavor in it. Flavor means calories and a lot of times means sugar. I get real Greek yogurt and Yeah, that's it. And it can be expensive. I mean, I'm going to spend 760. So what is that? I don't know. It's about 25 bucks, 24 bucks on yogurt today. And then I got to get eggs, and then I got to get bread, and I got, all the other stuff. So I'll spend like 5,000 baht today on food. But yeah, I don't get no flavors. When I use Greek yogurt, I put it in protein shakes. I put it with my cucumbers. I put it with, like I said, with potatoes. Sometimes I put it on the side of eggs. I use it for all kinds of things. So anyway, can't see, man. 18. Okay. It is time to go. Time to go, time to go. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you, Joe, for your contribution. And they have gyros here, of course. You can make your own, but there's one right down the way here. I try not to eat like certain foods, but I have very set meals. I have fish, I have shrimp, I have mackerel, I have burgers, I have lamb, and once in a while I'll have like a piece of pita bread or tortilla or something like that. But anyway, I gotta go. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jerken mai. That's good luck and see you again. And that's the way it was.